365 books. The team of voices behind your daily clarity.
Welcome to 365 Books, where timeless wisdom meets modern life. Each episode, we explore ideas that sharpen your mind, open your heart, and help you live with greater clarity. Hey, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more daily insights. All right, today we're going to dive into a concept that, I'm not kidding, could totally change how you think about work, your hobbies, even your life. It's called flow. It's this incredible idea from the psychologist Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi, all about how to find that deep, satisfying focus and, real enjoyment in what you do. I want you to really think about this for a sec. Have you ever had one of those moments, where you're so deep into what you're doing that the rest of the world just fades away? Time gets all weird and hours feel like minutes? You're not even trying to focus. You just are. You're in the zone. And then, poof, it's gone, and you kind of wake up from it. But let's be real, most days feel like the complete opposite of that, right? We're busy, yeah, but not fulfilled. We're jumping from email to meeting to chore, and at the end of it all, we just feel kind of restless and scattered, like our brain has been pulled in 100 different directions at once. And this right here, this is the exact question that drove Csikszentmihalyi. He was obsessed with figuring this out. What's the difference between those moments where we feel so alive, so engaged, and, well, the rest of the time, when life just feels a bit dull and all over the place? His answer, as you might have guessed, is this idea of flow. Okay, so here's the first big and honestly kind of liberating idea from all of this. If you struggle to focus, listen up. It is probably not your fault. It's not some kind of personal failure or a lack of character. I mean, we've all been told this, right? The myth is that it's a willpower problem. You just need to try harder. You need more discipline. But the reality? It's an environment problem. It's not about trying harder. It's about making sure the conditions are right for focus to even happen in the first place. And this is such a key shift in thinking. You can't force flow. It's not something you can just muscle your way into. It's more like, growing a plant. You don't yell at it to grow faster. You just create the right conditions, the right soil, the right sunlight, and then it just happens. It emerges. So what are these right conditions we keep talking about? Well, let's get into the nitty-gritty of how flow actually works. It's all about this beautiful, delicate balance. Before we go further, let's just nail down a clear definition. So what is flow? It's that sweet spot, that mental state where you are so completely absorbed in something that literally nothing else matters. You know that little voice in your head, the one that's always worrying or judging? It just shuts up for a while. Time gets weird, and the thing you're doing, it becomes its own reward. So how do you get there? What's the secret sauce? It really boils down to this one single principle. This is the key. Flow happens when the challenge of what you're doing is in perfect balance with your own skill level. Simple as that. Not too easy, not too hard. Okay, so let's imagine this as a channel, like a river. On one side of the river, you've got boredom. This is when a task is just way too easy for you. Your skills are high, but the challenge is low. Your brain has nothing to latch onto, so what does it do? It wanders. It starts thinking about lunch, or you find yourself scrolling on your phone. Sound familiar? And then on the other side of the river, you've got anxiety. This is the opposite problem. The challenge is way too high for your current skills. It's overwhelming. You feel stressed out, maybe even a little panicked, and all you want to do is just quit. But right there in the middle, between boredom and anxiety, that's the flow channel. That's the sweet spot. It's where the task is just hard enough to stretch you, to demand your full attention, but not so hard that it breaks you. That is where the magic of deep engagement happens. So you might be thinking, okay, this flow thing sounds amazing. Why is it so rare? Well, look no further than, modern life. It's almost perfectly designed to prevent flow. We've got constant interruptions, pinging notifications, goals that are super vague, and our attention is just shattered into a million tiny pieces. The takeaway here is that flow rarely just happens by accident anymore. We have to be intentional. We have to design our environment for it. So let's switch gears and talk about how you can actually do that. How can you bring more of this into your life?
Okay, here are 4 really practical steps. First, and this is huge, remove the distractions before you even start. Put the phone in another room, close the tabs. Second, pick a task that actually stretches you just a little bit. Remember, not too easy, not too hard. Third, have a super clear, specific goal for what you're about to do. And finally, carve out chunks of time where you know you won't be interrupted.
And look, it's so important to get this next point. These are not just productivity hacks. This isn't about becoming some kind of machine or just cramming more stuff into your day. This is about creating the conditions for real, deep psychological fulfillment. It's about the quality of your experience.
And that actually leads us to what might be the most powerful idea in all of Csikszentmihalyi's work. Because ultimately, this isn't just about getting stuff done. It's about happiness. It's about what makes a good life.
So here's the big counterintuitive insight. We tend to think happiness is what happens when we're kicking back, relaxing, doing nothing, right? But the research shows something completely different. Our best, most fulfilling, happiest moments don't come from chilling out. They come from being actively engaged in something challenging. And if you think about it, this makes perfect sense. Think about your most memorable, positive moments in life. I'll bet there were times when your skills were being tested, when you were totally present and focused, and when your effort felt like it was for something meaningful. Those were flow states. And I think this just sums it all up so beautifully. We spend so much of our lives trying to escape difficulty, looking for the easy way out. But flow teaches us that true satisfaction, true enjoyment, comes from the exact opposite. It comes from meeting a challenge fully with everything you've got. So, I want to leave you with a question to really chew on. What's that one thing for you? You know, the activity. Maybe it's at work, maybe it's a hobby, where time just disappears. Find that, and then ask yourself the really important question. How can you intentionally, deliberately create more space for that in your life? Because that's where you're going to find your flow. For summaries, reflections, and daily practices, visit 365books.app and keep learning with us.
365 books. The team of voices behind your daily clarity.